following is an exclusive podcast.
And yeah, this is my hungover voice.
Sorry. Hydrating. It's hot today.
And I'm dying. And I just want this to be over with. So thank you for joining us in another episode of Have You Seen This Yet? I'm Arazely.
My name is Oscar.
And on today's episode, Oscar is going to talk to us about Juice Wrld Into the Abyss.
Yeah, actually, we this week we decided to watch Juice Wrld Into the Abyss, recommended by viewer Kevin. Thank you so much for that recommendation. He sent me a DM on Instagram at Parzival2750. So we went ahead and this week we're going to be doing Juice Wrld Into the Abyss, as Arazely said. Now, those who don't know who Juice Wrld is, he was a professional rapper. And he is considered to be a leading figure in the emo rap and SoundCloud rap genres, which garnered mainstream attention during the mid to late 2010s. His stage name was derived from the film Juice, and he stated it represents taking over the world. Now, this is a documentary, so we won't be reading any synopsis, any plot, none of that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna shoot from the hip and just talk about this documentary, which, you know, I rewatched last night. So
it's playing on my TV right now.
Oh, she has a plan. See?
Because I'm barely watching it.
One of the amazing things, though, because I, like I said, I rewatched it last night, was he had like a great sense of freestyle.
Oh, that was for sure. He is constantly freestyling throughout the whole documentary. And everybody is just like super amazed because they're all going to be songs that are never going to get recorded.
Yeah.
Because he was just doing them just for fun.
Right. Yeah, I was like, I would listen to him freestyle and I was actually bobbing my head at the same time. It was so good. Like, I was very, very impressed with it.
Yeah. I like some of his songs. He has a nice singing voice, which is like so sad.
Yeah. I was discussing this with a friend of mine during the week because I took the time to re-listen, or actually not re-listen, because I actually had heard of him, never really listened to his music. I was pushed into it by my best friend. He still always listens to Juice Wrld. So I listened to a couple of his records during the week on Spotify. And there's songs in the record where you feel what he's going through. And it's very rare to find an artist that does that. But there was a couple of songs that I heard, and I was like, damn, you just feel the pain. You feel what he's going through at that moment.
For me, it was Lil Peep.
Okay.
When I seen that documentary, his documentary, I was like, wow, like, goddamn. Because I think he was also like same age.
I would believe so. I think
21 or 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lil Peep, and like, but his documentary was even fucking worse than this one.
Yeah.
This one is actually like super PG with the whole thing. Well, a lot of things. Like, they don't show him taking the pills or anything, do they?
They do.
Really? I haven't
seen
it. They do.
They show him taking Percocets throughout the entire film.
Oh yeah, no, but like yeah. Besides that, but his girlfriend is the one that I would just see doing the more hardcore drugs. Like, she's doing coke on one, and I'm just like, what the fuck, you know? How are these like? But then again, he does talk about like how being in that industry is really fucking bad because because he does talk about it at one point that he's like, it's so bad because I have plugs for drugs, for this, for that, you know, and that I feel like that's why he talked a lot about dying so young. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I feel like that's why he talks a lot about dying so young, because like he can feel where he was going with all that drugs. Like you can hear it, like also every time he would talk about them, how like he would get so into the zone and just be like, yeah, because they make him feel better and they help him escape, which is constantly the only thing that he talked about why he would take the drugs, which is sad because he does say, he's like, I grew up from nothing and now that I have it all, it's a fucking wicked world.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny you would mention the things that he would say. He said to the documentary, from the very beginning, he said that I am not going to make it past 21.
Mm-hmm. Even though he was like, it's not foreshadowing or anything, but
yeah, it was like kind of like a foreshadowing type of thing. And according to what they were saying in the documentary, from the very beginning with his music, he was always foreshadowing the fact that he wasn't going to make it past 21. And he died at age 21.
Yeah. And not only that, like a couple days after he turned 21, which is even fucking worse.
Yeah.
I had to actually look up what day it was that he passed away, and it was fucking sad. But then I also seen what he passed away of. He had a seizure.
Yes.
He had a seizure because of the perks and the stupid drink that he kept making.
Oh, the lean.
The
it's called lean.
Yeah,
it's called lean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, from again, I'm going everything I speak about today is going based off the documentary that we watched. The incident with his death, it all began at the airport when they were flying. I believe it was from Australia to Chicago.
Yeah, back home.
I believe it was Chicago to LA. But they were flying, and the pilot had reported that there was a gun on the premises of the airplane.
Oh, damn.
And I believe it was his manager. I'm trying to find his name because I wrote it down. I forgot where's this manager's name? I wrote it down somewhere. My bad. I didn't.
Cole Bennett.
I can't find
Benny
it.
Blanco.
But, so he said that he had a gun inside his backpack that belonged to him. But anyway, so when they're landing at the airport, they're met up by sheriffs and cops that are there to serve a search warrant to search the plane for paraphernalia and weapons. And Juice WRLD had all these drugs on the plane that he was going to go down for. So he took it upon himself to eat everything. Eat everything as they were searching, and that's when his body started convulsing. And his girlfriend, Lottie, I believe it's pronounced, was the one saying that he started spasming, he started seizuring, he started bleeding from the ears and the nose and the eyes. And when they were trying to get the cops to help them, there was no sense of urgency to do so, from what they were saying in the documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then again, he did take so many of them. What was he expecting to not happen?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
kind of fun. He could have at least, was he still on the plane?
Yeah, he was still on the plane. He never got off the plane.
He could have at least tossed it in the toilet. They have freaking toilets in their private planes, right?
Right. Do you believe that, because in one of the scenes of the documentary, he points at the director and he tells him to come close to him and show him how many, I believe, perks he was taking. He had 6 in his mouth at one point.
Maybe that was just his fucking limit.
Yeah. Like, do you feel that he thought nothing was going to happen to him, or he was going to swallow him?
He probably did. He probably thought that he had built such a really high tolerance that he thought they were gonna do him. Like, obviously, what happened, which is a little fucked because when you do drugs, you obviously feel like you're in control of that. So I feel like that's what happened with that he was like, you know what, I've done this a million times. I know what I'm doing. He's like, he's probably taken that many in a day,
Right.
but throughout hours, not all at once, which is a completely different thing to happen to
Yeah.
your body, especially if it was pills and them all like different times dissolving in his stomach. Fucking, whoa. Like in the beginning, that scene just passed right out. So you
Yeah.
were talking about.
With the perks and
Yeah.
the tongue?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'll rewind it.
So, little background, so people that don't know who Juice Wrld is or was, what is it? That, yeah, right there. Yep. Okay, so we should have done this in the beginning, but we'll do it now. Here's a little background for people that didn't know. So, his name was Jared Higgins, known as Juice Wrld to the musical world. Was it?
Gerard.
Is it pronounced Gerard?
That's what I kept hearing them call him.
Okay, I apologize if I
Jared.
said it wrong. So Higgins began his career as an independent artist in 2015 and signed a record contract with Grade A Productions at Interscope Records in 2017. He gained recognition with his now Diamond certified 2018 single Lucid Dreams, which peaked at #2 on the US Billboard Hot 100. It was included in his triple platinum debut studio album, Goodbye and Good Riddance, released on 2018, along with the singles All Girls Are the Same, Lean With Me, Wasted, and Armed and Dangerous, all of which charted on the Hot 100. He then collaborated with Future on the mixtape Wrld on Drugs, released in 2018, and released his second album, Death Race for Love, in 2019. It contained the hit single Robbery and became Higgins' first #1 debut on the US Billboard 200. Now, I've listened to that track Robbery. I don't know if you have on a person on a level.
Just on the thing.
Okay. That song, when I first heard it, legit made me cry because it was so freaking powerful. It was like a heartbreak anthem. And it was so like, I was talking to my best friend at the time. He was playing it in the background. And I said, what's the name of that song? And he's like, which one? He's like, the one that just played right now. And he started skipping back with that one. Like, no. I said, that one? Like, no. And I was like, that one. And he's like, oh, that one's called Robbery. I said, okay, cool. I wrote it down. Next, about an hour later, when we finished our phone call, I played that one song and it just brought tears to my eyes. Like, you just hear, if you haven't heard it, Arazely, listen to it. And then you're gonna tell me, my God, I got it. I get it. I get it. How people connected with it on a personal level. Like, that was the moment where I was like, I get it. Okay. I understood. Yeah. So we were just talking about his death. It says here, Higgins died following a drug overdose on December 8th, 2019. His first posthumous album, those who don't know, posthumous is something that's released after that person has died. His first posthumous album, Legends Never Die, released in 2020, matched chart records for most successful posthumous debut and for most US top 10 entries on one album, while the single Come and Go with Marshmello, which is fantastic, by the way, became Higgins' second song to reach #2 on the Hot 100. His second posthumous album, Fighting Demons, was released in 2021 alongside with the documentary film Juice Wrld Into the Abyss and contained the US top 20 single Already Dead. That's the second album that I listened to was that one. I listened to that album, Fighting Demons, from beginning to end. Okay, how can I say this? He was special. He was special. That record was top tier. The song Already Dead, I've heard it many times now. again, I get it. I understand. Definitely wasn't a fan then, definitely a fan now, from the music that I heard and the records that I heard.
That's exactly how I felt when I watched the Lil Peep thing, the documentary. Like, I feel like I only knew like one or two songs. And then after watching that documentary, no, I'm sorry, is that right? I just turned in, he's like either on a drug sleep or they're actually sleeping and they're on the jet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a drug sleep.
Oh yeah. I just seen it right now. Yeah, he just opened his eyes. Yeah, he's a drug sleep. Yeah, those are those, you find those on like some fucking crack addicts.
So it's a good point you brought up. Now I want to ask you about this. The film itself really received mostly positive reviews from the critics. Conversely, the film critic Steve Pulaski of Inflex magazine gave the film a negative review, saying Into the Abyss is perhaps the grimmiest documentary that could ever be made about the late Chicago legend. With sloppy editing is one thing, but to show intimate footage of the 21-year-old's artist spiral into addiction is such an uncritical way, and it feels especially cruel. What are your thoughts about that?
Like, when they were doing this documentary, he was alive and well to know what was going on. So he obviously wanted all of that to get recorded, you know? It's like what any artist that's obviously touring and trying to put their music out there, you know, they're just showing you behind the scenes. If he wouldn't have died, they wouldn't have said any of that. They would have just been like, oh, so much drugs, you know?
Yeah.
But he died, so they made it into that. The grimmiest documentary would have been Lil Peeps, because they actually show him. Okay, they think that he was on he was passed out from the drugs, you know, coming in and out, but he was already dead. And they were recording him. Like, they showed that towards the end. Like, they're in the tour bus, because that's where he died, in his tour bus. Like, they walk in, somebody was Snapchatting it. They put that on their Snapchat, not knowing that he was already dead.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But then a lot of them are saying that they probably knew already, because it was just like the people that he had around him were not like Juice's friends, you know, like they were there, you know. None of those came out in the documentary for Lil Peep. They were just using him for drugs.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't notice, and they didn't even like, took them like an hour or something like that for them to realize what the hell was going on, or
basically
something.
Didn't care.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's been brought up throughout generations, is once you start making a little money, you don't know who's who.
Yeah. But like, he had a real close group of friends, you know. He had his girlfriend with him the whole time.
Yeah.
Lil Peep didn't have his girlfriend with him. She wasn't touring with him at all. She was always at home, you know?
Yeah.
So like, they were okay, drug addicts, but they were taking care of each other, basically, you know? So like, that whole incident was a fucking accident, and he overestimated how much he was going to be able to take.
Okay.
You know? Not like Lil Peep. That man just straight up got overdosed. That was an accident.
It's a sad realization to see that people are numbing their pain with drugs. Not knocking on anybody. I would never knock on anybody, because I'm guilty of trying to, you know, suppress the numbness with alcohol. I'm not the type of person that's going to judge anybody on what they do, but I believe there's truth, and then there's something wrong with the way the review that I just read. It's true that it's kind of just like crazy that they're still showing you the drugs that he's doing, and the after effects of it. Because throughout most of the documentary, his eyes are like shut down. He's falling asleep, as you said. But at the same time, you need to understand in your head that this is reality.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
And like, and it's a good, wow. He's at a school.
Yeah.
He's at a school for kids.
He's at a school? No, but if you watch, he's at the school, but he actually looks normal.
Yeah.
Normal. I mean, he is normal, but he was normal.
He wasn't drugged up.
Huh?
He wasn't drugged up.
Yeah.
Well, why would he want to? He wouldn't want to show that for kids. But then again,
Yeah.
It's a good thing that they're making these documentaries, because you know what, being in the limelight, even though it might seem like it's all that great, there's still people. They're still going through regular stuff that anybody can go through. The only difference is that they have the access to get anything that they want.
Yeah.
And other people are just go through it by themselves. And sure, they'll numb themselves with just alcohol. He has the money and resources to get more than just alcohol. They do coke, they smoke, they pop their pills, because he has the money and he has the power to get it,
Yeah.
Which is the worst, especially for somebody that young already doing hardcore drugs.
Yeah.
It's even sadder. But then you also, like, he didn't have anything at the beginning, so like for that, him, it's still like, yeah, more, I wanted, more, which sucks.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it any better. Let's see, a couple of notes also. So a little background with that. There was a lawsuit actually for Juice WRLD before he died.
Really?
I believe the song Lucid Dreams used a sample of an old song by Sting, and he ended up suing for about $40 million.
I think I had heard about that.
Yeah. So after he died, obviously Sting went on Twitter and gave a heartfelt condolences like that, while everybody just shit on him because he took a lot of money from it. He wasn't able to make money off of Lucid Dreams anymore. He can still play it, but he would have to give royalties to Sting every single time.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
That was fucked.
It's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. When I discovered that, I'm like, wait, that's a Sting song? And I would go back and you could hear it in the very beginning. I was like, oh shit. And then so obviously you research and you see how much money he sued him for and how much money he gained off of it. And he doesn't make a single dime off of it. Still doesn't. So people, if you're out there, stop playing that song. Stop. Play something else that he'll make money off of, or his family will make money off of. Because if you play Lucid Dreams, you're not going to make any money off of that.
Got 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, we have 10 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
The timer just came up.
So, I mean, from what you've seen, because you're currently rewatching and then we're talking about it at the same time.
Yeah.
Give me your full-on thoughts of well, basically what you've seen right now.
He was a troubled guy.
Yeah.
He was definitely troubled. And the fact that he got money so quickly and young, it's like, it got to him, Like, he wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't like a bad influence or anything. Because he, like, when he went to the kids, oh, it's already towards the end. They're in Australia and it's November. Yeah. Like, if he still thought about, like, you know what, I'm going to be in front of kids, might as well go sober, or enough that he doesn't like droopy eyes out of it and everything, he still took in consideration that they're still impressionable, so for them to end up saying that it was like a bad movie, bad documentary, is fucking horrible,
I think wait, what they're not saying it was a bad documentary. What they're saying is that it was kind of bad taste to show like I said, that reality of the drugs and doing the drugs and, you know, basically filming it, putting it out there for people, because people are going to watch this documentary and people are going to get ideas off that. The kids nowadays are so impressionable, and they want to do everything that they see. Look at TikTok. Everybody wants to do the TikToks. You know what I'm saying? That's I believe, I'm not defending them, but I'm simply saying that's probably the interpretation that they were trying to give out, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. But either way, you know, everybody's going to look at it in different perspectives, you know. If obviously you're going to watch it and be like, oh, yeah, I want to do drugs and do exactly what he did and die young, then you're going through some stuff and you feel like that's the best way to do it, you know.
Yeah.
And like, if for them to not show it, it's like, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You could see worse on TV.
Right, absolutely. Maybe we forget. We grew up in the era of Jerry Springer, so we've seen a lot worse than drugs on TV. People.
Yeah. Oh, Jose Luis.
Jose Luis and Censura. You're right.
He was the Jerry Springer of the
He was a Mexican Jerry Springer. Yes, it was. But he was actually a lot dirtier than that.
Yes, he was a perv.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Jose Luis was a perv.
My sister actually works for the company that used to produce that show. She would tell me stories all the time about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard too, like I would hear, like, because I used to have a friend that two of them that would go and do, like, they would just go to do random shows just to be extras or stuff like that. But like they took me to one and it was for 12 Corazones.
Okay.
Yeah. They filmed 2 at a time. And like I actually came out in 12 Corazones. I was a friend.
Okay.
I was a friend of one of the contestants, and I was like, yeah, I forgot what was the sign that I was supposed to say that my friend was. I was like, yeah, my friend, whatever. He's a really great guy and very compassionate and stuff like that. And I was like, fucking fake. They gave me $20.
Hey, money's
I was 17 though, so.
Jose, from what my sister said, Jose Luis y Censura used to pay their people $100, and especially the people that would fight.
Oh yeah, fuck. Yeah. And well, that's why they were always fighting. That's why they're always laughing too when they're supposedly fighting.
When they're swinging and everything, just has big smiles on your face.
Hey,
what's our time?
5
minutes. Okay, want to wrap it up? Where is that at? That's the last show that you did, right?
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah.
His last moments.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm telling you, after hearing his some of his records and listening to his music and what he had to say, you get an understanding as why people really like him. And I was telling my nephew, because he said, oh, well, he's always asking me what's next for the podcast, and I tell him, I told him, we're gonna watch Juice World, and he's like, what? Like, yeah, like he's like, are you doing research? He's like, yeah, I'm listening to the records, I'm listening to his music. It's like, barely, you're like 5 years too late. I'm like, I know, I get it, I understand. He's like, well, what do you think? I said, I enjoy it. I think had I listened to this before, rather than let me see, how can I justify not listening to him back in the day?
You were like, his music didn't appeal to me either. The same for Lil Peep, and it sucks, because like I'm pretty sure I felt the same way that you're feeling right now. It sucked that like I didn't get to listen to his music, like Lil Peep, when he was alive. And now that I just hear his songs, it's just fucking sad that he's not gonna make any more good music.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you feel the same about Juice WRLD.
I think I would have loved to hear what he has next to come out, because the Demons record was so good. Like, they were so good. Don't get me wrong, there was a couple of duds in there. There was just like in every record that comes out, there's a couple of duds in there, but 90% of it was actually really good. I would be more interested in seeing what he would follow up with had he been alive. But I think I need to watch that Lil Peep documentary that you're telling me. It was on Netflix for the longest time, and I know, stop, I already can see you making faces at me.
I told you right after I had seen it.
You did. I'm not even gonna lie. You did tell me to watch it after you had seen it. I never gave it the time of day. I never gave it the time of light. But now I might have to just rent it on Apple TV. It's only like, I believe, like $3-4 to rent. So I'll probably just rent it and check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much the Juice WRLD Into the Abyss. It's just a man who is in pain and numbs it, but at the same time is a fucking musical genius.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. That it's within itself will X out anything bad you have to say about him. Okay, he did this. Okay, he does that. Okay, he says this, but he's such a fucking genius. Kind of cancels everything out.
I know.
And that's that. But there is not going to be a peanut challenge this week. You're not feeling it. You know, next week, we are not going to be here next week. We're taking the week off to regenerate and recharge the battery. We'll be back in 2 weeks to bring you another episode of Have You Seen This Yet? This week, I had so much fun doing this episode. We don't know what we're going to release. We don't know what we're going to watch the next time. Just keep an eye out on our Instagram. My Instagram, Parzival2750. Feel free to DM me any movie recommendations. Obviously, if we watch this documentary, we'll watch whatever it is you're going to give us. So feel free to send out your recommendations. Don't do porn, please. Don't be stupid. I got a few recommendations for that. Did you know that?
What, porn?
For adult films.
No. Send them my way.
Like, no, we can't do that. We're gonna.
I'll check them out for you.
I'll send you the names of them. But
nice.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, we gave you enough information. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a big old thumbs up. Leave comments in this comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Parzival2750. My name is Oscar.
And I am Arazely.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.